You're listening to Heritage Radio Network. HRN is food radio supported by you. Learn more at heritageradionetwork.org. Orlando Food Sales is a third-generation food importing company, highly specialized in the importation and distribution of the best flour, tomatoes, oil, buffalo mozzarella, and vegetables in oil from Italy. Orlando Foods' reach is felt across the USA, working with food service distributors and restaurateurs to supply and educate on the best that Italy has to offer. By choosing to work with fewer products of higher quality, like Caputo flour, Ciao tomatoes, Old Italia oils, Torre Lupara Bufala mozzarella, Orlando Foods concentrates on importing products which complement each other, thereby remaining experts and delivering the greatest possible value. Started in 1948, Orlando Foods is committed to upholding traditions of Italian cuisine and improving food quality in the USA. Learn more at orlandofoods.com. I'm Peter Reinhardt. Welcome to Pizza Quest. I'm coming to you from the International Pizza Expo in Las Vegas, where we've been meeting some really, really interesting people. And we're about to meet three more interesting people, not so many as much. Some of the other folks we met are very well known to the American pizza community, but you guys may not be yet, but soon certainly will be. I'm here with Mirko, am I saying it right? D'Agata? D'Agata. And Mirko is going to tell us about what he's building, mainly in Canada, called 900, the 900 restaurant group.
Yes.
And then I've got Michele Rubini and Francesco Zimone. And their brand that we're going to be talking about is one that many of you may know about, but may not know that it's here. And that's the Da Michele brand, right? And of course, I'm not saying any of this right, so correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm saying any of these things incorrectly. So, well, let's start with you guys. Francesco and Michele, if you could tell us what you're launching here in the States.
Well, first of all, thank you so much, Peter, to having us with you. And we have the historic brand called L'Antica Pizzeria da Michele that was born in Napoli in 1870.
1870?
Yeah, wow. We're like 5-generation family, starting as the most original pizza shop with only 2 pies, one vegan and one vegetarian, the famous Margherita and the Marinara. And
it really is one of the most famous pizzerias in the world. I've been there myself, and so I know that everybody sort of knows. It's one of those. If you're going to Naples, everyone says, "Well, you have to go to Da Michele," but it was only just one shop.
It was one shop for about 140 of these years, of these 153, and then the movie Eat, Pray, Love changed
Pray, Love.
The book Eat, Pray, Love, then it became a movie with Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
And the change in society with Instagram and
right.
all the social media created a completely different economical scenario. I think the family decided to franchise the project, and I happen to be the lucky friend of childhood of the son. And I was living in Los Angeles for already 10 plus years.
Uh-huh.
And on every trip back home into our Naples, I would go back and say, I love the pizza. Why don't we do something in LA? But they're a very historic family, and so they didn't want to know anything. So at some point, on one of those trips, I asked them whether they changed their mind, and they said there's a possibility. The father of Alessandro, who's the CEO of the Italian brand, is called Francesco like me, so somehow there was some romance there, and the guy said, you are our man in America, and
because you had the right name.
And so that became a contract to open the first location, which we ended up asking them if they were okay for us to portray a more a cultural project that would include an experience based on food, not just on pizza. I told them that I didn't believe that the concept of the two pizza only would be sustainable in the U.S. economy. Therefore, we ended up making the project into a more refined restaurant.
It's beyond pizza.
We have 6,000 square feet in Hollywood.
That's a big space.
Yeah, and from now we're launching breakfast in the next few weeks.
Wow.
I have an executive pastry chef on board. We also do lunch, dinner, and a little bit of nightlife. Or after dinner, if you might wish to call it differently. No dancing, but from truffle to fresh-made pasta to even an Italian burger with prosciutto and burrata to an incredible amount of dishes like gnocco fritto or things that you might find in every regional cuisine of Italy. We decided to do it. It's
You've taken an ancient traditional brand based in simplicity and given it the Hollywood treatment. You've turned it into a around the clock almost restaurant and club.
It's a very original. It's a very well taken. Depending on how you see what you just named as a transformation. Could be seen as a transformation. I don't see it that way, but only because I believe that restaurants have a completely new role in today's society.
Yeah, so you've reinvented it for this time in history.
The society, I think, requires, because we're still living in a world that today sees the to-go business and the robo as the future. And I go completely the opposite way. I put people together. I need the people to spend time together. I need the community to be united. And this has been our success. We, during COVID, we never fired any one of our 12 managers back then, which led the LA Times to write an article on us because we had because we lost an insane amount of money without even knowing that then eventually we would have made money back with PPP.
Right. We didn't know if it was ever going to end.
But we didn't fire anyone, and that was seen as a very social way of seeing things in a different way. We tied up the belt. We put every one of us to the minimum salary that California will allow, and we kept everyone on staff. And we kept, and every day we would cook for our staff, the one that were hourly. And community grew around us, So when you do things like this, then you realize that, yes, I might be called Antica Pizzeria Michele, and I'm one of the most historic brand in the world, but that becomes secondary when you're looking at a picture of what is my role in the society today.
That's very interesting. So in a way, it's kind of like reimagining Da Michele in today's world.
We decided together with the family that our approach was going to be not just made on pizza.
Yeah.
We really didn't want to consider. I think it's. I'm 49 years old, so I cannot consider myself latest generation, but. I'm gonna have to start thinking with the eyes of a teenager and where the world is going. Otherwise, restaurants most of the times there's an expression that is, if you don't change, then you die with your own clients that are aging with you.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good point.
And that's something that we don't want. We want more as an aggregation point, a place where people have good time and. Actually, it's very beautiful because we are at the center of a university study that we're conducting.
Oh.
So there's a lot of things happening in our life. We're very happy, super content.
When did the restaurant actually open?
The restaurant opened in 2019, on May 2019. We basically were
Right
7
before.
months short of COVID.
Right before.
I
So
met this
great timing, right?
I met the gentleman next to me. He's
Yeah, I want to find out what Michele's role in all this is.
I'll pass him. Just
Okay, this is great.
What a
But-
pleasure.
So you've been open and you survived COVID. You managed to get through it by tightening the belt and hanging in there.
And
And now
we-
how are things going?
Well, we seriously, exactly the opposite spectrum of the other gentleman next to me,
Mirko, yeah.
who's opened 18
I
restaurants
know.
in one town.
We're going to hear about that as well.
We
yeah.
decided to open another 6,000 square feet, but in New York.
So that's happening now? It's in the process?
No, we opened.
It's opened?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
All
I
right.
moved my entire family with an infant. Michele moved with his wife, and we moved 10 of our staff out of LA as if we were the biggest multinational company in the world. And
Thinking big.
And I don't know how we did it, but it is.
Where are you?
kind of
Where are
fun.
you located in New York?
West Village.
In the West Village. So for people who are looking for that, well, let's,
Let me give you Michele.
Let's hear
What
it
a
from
pleasure.
Michele.
Thank you so much, Peter.
Yeah, it's great talking with you. Thanks for filling us in, giving us the whole build up to this, to how this all happened. So we heard from Francesco. So Michele, what's your role in all
I'm
of
the
this?
executive pizza chef.
You're the
in
executive
company.
pizza
Yeah.
chef. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm.
Were you involved in the LA?
I'm kind of a jolly, and we basically do everything together.
And
So,
you were part of the LA restaurant as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been working together, and
We work together since.
Well, you've got the name Michele. Are you part of the family, or are you related?
No,
to
it was like
Like Francesco.
When Francesco was talking with Alessandro's father, and they found out they had the same name. Francesco, by coincidence.
Yeah.
All of a sudden find.
So it's either by
found-
coincidence, or we can say there is no coincidences in the world. There's a reason for this.
Exactly.
A little bit of divine
and my name,
providence.
of course, is matching also the name of the brand. So Francesco one day was with another friend that we had in common back then. So they called me, and we found out that we were meant to work together. So
That's great. Well, many of the people who are listening who have never been to either of the restaurants are going to want to know, first of all, is the pizza the same as what they would experience in Naples?
let me tell you, first of all, we're importing everything from Italy.
Bringing everything in,
From
yeah.
flour to tomato, cheese, everything is imported. And of course, it's the same. So we are, of course, do our due diligence. We're respecting all the protocols. We try to do our best in order for us to actually giving out the same experience that you can have in Naples.
Yes.
But of course, like Francesco said, the pizza is pretty much the same.
Okay.
The restaurant is giving you a totally different experience.
But you're also doing, beyond those two pizzas, you're doing many other kinds of pizzas.
We do. But like Francesco said, we have to face the reality that the American market is different.
Of course.
Of course, we do the marinara, the margherita, which are
You have to do those
pizza.
two. I mean, those are
They are the
that's
same
the
pizza
brand.
they
Yeah.
make in Naples.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, we do something that they've done for over 150 years.
Yeah.
Which is creating a community. So if you go to Da Michele right now and you ask him to do a diavola, which is a margherita with spicy salami, they're not going to tell you, no, we can't. You have to bring your own salami, you have to give them, and they're going to make
If you give it to me, I'll throw it on top.
They do it.
That's interesting, yeah.
They're going to do it. That's quite funny, but this is going to let you understand that, like Francesco said, we, with them, have created something called community. We got blessed. What's that? I'm in trouble.
He's showing me a photo. So
Yeah.
Frencesco showed me a
We
photo of you
literally
climbing up there,
We
putting your
literally do everything together. We
putting
build
the
restaurant
letters
together.
on your sign.
He's painting.
You're painting, yeah.
Yeah.
Is this the New Yorkster?
This is
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah.
He's on the scaffold painting, and I'm holding this.
Oh, there you
It
are
was
holding the
0
scaffold.
degree.
I see you. Yeah,
Peter,
yeah.
There was 0 degrees. I was like literally
You guys-
freezing my.
So this is not like some big corporate buildup. You guys are hands-on every part
Absolutely.
of this. Yeah.
We build everything from not chairs, but from tables to benches, from walls to everything.
How has
to
the
everything.
reception been since you've opened?
No, but, let's be
Very
honest,
good.
Peter. When you're telling people,
3,500 people a week.
3,500 people.
Yeah,
a
New
week,
York. New Yorkers have been incredible.
Incredibly supportive,
I've
yeah.
never seen.
must have been very excited.
LA was fantastic because I've been living there 20 years and the community was great. But New Yorkers, they just come out of nowhere. I don't know how they do. You know, you might not see people, but then all together we opened, and the people were like, "Wow, we've seen your building. This is great." You got, just adorable reception. Reception's been warm. We're so grateful.
That's
Very, very
fantastic.
grateful.
Well, that's exciting news, and we're going to come back to talk about this in a bit. But let's hear from Mirko now, because his challenge is he's got a Neapolitan pizzeria in Canada.
Yeah.
We're in Toronto or
in Quebec, in Montreal.
In Quebec, and the original first one is 900.
Yes, the name is 900 because we cook the temperature that we cook the pizza is at 900.
But now you got more than one.
Yeah, now we have 28 with another 3 in the pipeline. And yes, we started in 2014 with 13 seats. And now we expand a lot. We obviously the most difficult things is replicate every time the same pizza.
That's the people want to experience. And whichever one they go in, they want it to be as good as the other one. Yeah.
And we also import most of our products from Italy. I personally go to choose our 2 kinds of tomatoes every year. We import our olives, our olive oil, our vinegar, everything we cannot find on local products. So to make you an example, before we used to import all the salumi. Salumi, it's the cold cuts.
Yes.
Now it's we just finished the project, so every single cold cut is made in Quebec from a bio company that I work with them for almost 4 years to develop all our cold cuts.
To make it the way you wanted it.
Prosciutto 18 months. We use ventricina, we use pancetta, we use salame. I developed the ham with a milk pig. So they're recreating for you the Italian product, but in a local form. Yes, just because the quality of the meat, the pork meat there is absolutely incredible. So I arrived in Canada in 2012, and when I decided to work with this project, I said they just need the knowledge to do it. So I bring the knowledge to them, and now we're up with all our meat.
So this is the real reason I wanted all of you here together today, is to talk about the challenges that you face in expanding, because now we're talking about you've doubled in size by going to New York, so that means double the workforce. You are doubling almost like exponentially all the time.
Yes.
And so that means, where do you find the people?
Yeah.
How do you train them? How do you make sure that people do have that experience when they go into one, that it's going to be equal to the other? Our
people, most of them are from Quebec, Canadian. Most of them, we teach them everything. So we have a team. We have a team of trainer that I used to do that when I started. So train people, I still do, and when we do opening, because I really love to be in the pizzeria.
Is the style that you're training them in similar to the certified style?
We are AVPN certified since 2022. But we always train them with the rules of AVPN. So with the traditional Napolitan pizza. Are you certified
to certify?
I'm certified till 2010 in Italy.
Okay.
When I was still back there.
So they're learning the VPN method.
So the way of doing the dough, stretching the dough, cooking the dough, treat the dough, respect the temperature of the dough. It's the base to replicate, and we always try to pick up people there. Could be passionate, but if they start from zero, for me is even better, because we can train them as we want.
Yes.
So they do not have previous way to do.
A lot of people feel that way. They'd rather get somebody that's never done it before, so you don't have to untrain them of their bad habits.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the a bit the philosophy, the concept of the company. We neither closed during the pandemic. Was the same thing. We kept everything open.
Really?
Pizza is one of the best things to be delivered, even if the Napolitan
work that way. Yeah,
it's a little bit harder than other pizza.
Yeah.
So I think that save all the business.
Did you have to modify the way you bake the pizzas in order to get them to hold up in the box, or you just kept it the way it is?
Our delivery is is made by ourselves. So we have
you got them out there
some
fast.
little Italian cars that we use to deliver.
Nice.
I don't name the brand, so but we did that, and then as Francesco said before, I think we growing up as a community, and people recognize us as a local pizza maker in a Napolitan style way. So we really grow and make something for.
They must really like the product for you to be able to keep opening up new stores. They must be, the demand is there.
Yes,
clearly.
And obviously it's they are franchising. So it's important to give them all the support and the help that they need, and make sure that everything we do, it's affordable. They can replicate just.
So in the franchise model that you have, when someone buys the rights to open a 900, but part of that must include training that you provide them and quality control supervision.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we have a training team, and we have a team that control in every pizzerias how they do the pizza, how they do operation, how they do dining room, how they do the managing. So everything step by step is controlled every week with reports. So
they're following the template that you've established at the others.
Of course.
And at Antica da Michele, the same thing. You've got somehow you have to train people to your standards. And how do you find? I mean, in New York, there's so many people have worked in pizza. How do you find fresh faces and new people to train?
I mean, finding people after COVID is kind of challenging, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And like Mirko said, I rather have people that are coming from nothing.
Yeah.
And you can teach them everything like from scratch.
Yeah.
Instead of having people with experience, because let's be honest, Pizzeria da Michele has his own pie. So if you see the Pizzeria da Michele, the way they do the pizza is like different from everybody else. So you can see like so many margherita on the table, and you say, okay, that's a Pizzeria da Michele immediately.
But if somebody came in from another pizzeria and said, I need a job, he's going to have his own idea of how he thinks he should do it, and it's going to be harder to train him.
Of course. They do have an idea, because I mean, I have people that are working with me now, and they have like 25 years of experience.
Yeah.
They're coming and say, oh, Michele, I know. Do you do your interview with them and say, oh, I have 25 years of experience. Okay, I guess you're good. Let's try it out. And let me tell you, most of the time it doesn't end so well.
Yeah.
Because but not on my side. Most of the time it's on their side, because they say, Michele, look, I never made so many mistakes in my life. I want to quit. Say, look, we have a very, very humble approach with them. We say, look, it's normal. Just take it easy. Yeah. Don't worry about it, and give it.
If they're willing to learn, you can get them there.
They are. And of course, if you have 25 years of experience, most likely you are like a 45 years old guy. So of course, the way that you approach your job,
it's harder,
it's also pretty hard.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
It's difficult for you to change when you're 45.
When I was a child, I had a favorite pizzeria near where I lived, and anytime the owner Paul made the pizzas, it was we loved it. And anytime he hired somebody, because he was getting so busy, somebody to work side by side with him, we could always tell that it wasn't Paul's pizza.
Yeah, it was a difference.
And those people, next time we would go, that person would be gone, because I said, where's that other guy? And he said he wouldn't change. He wouldn't do what I asked him to do.
No, we are kind of pretty peculiar, because you notice that Francesco is really but we are into community and try to do things right.
Yeah. And if you have that culture, then people are willing to try. Yeah,
absolutely. So we really do care about the atmosphere, the ambience of the restaurant, but also the environment that we're working with. Let's be honest, you work in a restaurant and you're seeing people for more than 10, 12 hours a day. So that people, you see them more than your family.
Yes.
So in a way or another, they're their family.
They become your family.
They become your family.
Absolutely. So how many employees do you have at each place?
I'm going to let Francesco answer this question, because actually it's pretty.
Because you got two big places, two big locations, three. Where's the third one?
I think we are a little bit the exception here to the kind of rules, because first of all, we are we have a license, so we're technically a franchisee. because we own the license for United States. So
I see.
we are growing. We're not franchising anything to anyone. We're doing it all by ourselves.
Right. So you're not the franchisee. You are the franchisor.
Yeah. So we don't have the. So we have zero interest in giving anything to anyone as how to build it, why and what. So we do it ourselves, and we own it ourselves.
Yeah.
So we're basically operator. So as an operator, we're growing in management. We have, as of today, I counted 24 managers in 3 restaurants. 24 managers between the directors, chefs, marketing, management.
So that's the LA restaurant. That's Santa Barbara. We
have 350 employees in 3 restaurants right now.
Okay, that's a big company, and that includes the New York branch.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Any plans to do a 4th one?
We're already building a 10,000 square feet, which is getting me a little bit worried because every restaurant we make, it gets bigger and bigger.
So where's that one going to be?
In Long Beach, California.
Long Beach, wow.
We met a fantastic landlord about 2 years ago who has a wonderful space on 2nd and Livingston. We have about 38 parking spots, and we went there jokingly to put together 2 restaurants. And he said, "Oh, that's a smart idea." So now, and the total square footage is about 9,000 square feet.
Oh my gosh,
So,
that's almost twice as big as the LA one.
Yeah, but we have 6,000 now in New York, and they're all indoor. So I'll let you imagine. It's so ridiculous. I think the day we opened, about 2 weeks after that we opened in New York, and fortunately, the restaurant was busy and the people were so lovely and kind. I just walked through the streets of the village and I saw that the majority of restaurants were busy, but they were all 50 seats.
Uh-huh.
But I had already seen that the 2 years I was building the restaurant, but I never realized. And I thought to myself, walking back to the restaurant, I said, like, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
What is wrong with me? Why did I do that? But, the idea, I think, in restaurants, at least mine, is an emotional attachment to a space. I design and build, so I walk into a space and I try to see if the energy or if I feel an attachment to the space in a way that there's something magical. There's something, if you don't consider food as I think there's millions of ways to look at a restaurant business, right?
Yeah.
Again, we were talking about to go pick up robots, fine dining, and everything. I like animated, lively spaces where people congregate. Energy, right?
Yeah.
So for us, the business model is based upon the idea of how do I make people's life better for a couple of hours, and we've noticed something great in our restaurants. That is, we never see people on cell phones.
That's interesting, and I think that's interesting what you pointed out, because I always used to walk by restaurants. When I lived in San Francisco, I'd walk by certain restaurants in North Beach, which is a big, Italian restaurant neighborhood. And there were certain ones where I'd walk by and everybody was smiling and they were talking to each other. And I said, that's the restaurant I want to go eat at, because there's something you can recognize energy when you see it.
And that is something that completely puts you on a different journey, because. Or at least is my own journey. It's I believe I was talking to Mirko's partner before that we started, and he said, I think when you open a restaurant, you should always the owner should always be in the restaurant, right? And Michele and I, we've been thinking about this forever. With our families, we moved to New York and we run the restaurant.
Yeah.
And we go back and forth to LA. We have another partner that is every day present in the restaurant. We have zero intentions of selling. We have zero intentions we love what we do.
Yeah.
And we put our face in what we do, okay? And I think that when you do that, you are respectful to yourself, to your business, to your client, because hospitality industry is a little bit weird, because there's nowadays, with the whole technology and everything, and the whole community of people reviewing you and looking at you and telling you whether you're worth or not. And that's not even anymore a professional reviewers, but it's more or less an Instagram reviewers or somebody who has opened a site or something. You're basically dealing with the emotion of people, right? And it's very important to, at that point, if you are in that kind of a business, then I want to be with that person. I want to show you what we do, why we do it, what it is that we do about, and that is to me probably at the base of what we do. We want to. There's a lot of people that have become extremely famous in a matter of a minute with their own something. Yeah. And
a little TikTok here and there.
Yeah, and there are people that have worked their entire life for their passion and their craft, right? So I believe it's important to just slightly make a little step back and envision what we do in a less media approach. More, we try and strive every single day not to be a mom and pop in the terms of operationally speaking, so organized, well done, all by the book, but at the same time we would never want it to be a corporate in the other negative sense of being a corporate, like vice president of operation and somebody, no, you got my phone number, you got my email, you call me.
Still want it to be personal.
It has to be personal.
Well, let's see how, with Mirko's group, the 900 group, with all the locations you have, of course the restaurants are all smaller, right, than Michele. Yes. So how do you do it? How do you do it similar and different?
Well, as I said before, we support with some teams of trainer, and we control every week. Every week we are in the restaurants. Me personally, I am in the restaurants. I have my two other people, two other master pizzaioli that goes around to check in the kitchen and do actually service with them. So they work with them during a day to be sure that everything is made by the book. Same thing for the dining room. So for us, for sure, with multiple locations, we need to have a little bit more of an organization in plant. So we have an operational team that works together with the chef of the operational team, and then we have our operational director, and then we have HR.
But you need to have, in a sense, how many restaurants do you have now in the group?
28.
28. So you need to have at least 28.
28 Napolitan pizzerias, and we have 4 Roman-style pizzerias.
So that's 32. Yeah. So you need to have 32 Mirkos out there, or people as capable as Mirko, to be able to make sure the standards are being held.
Honestly, I want to be honest with you. My goal is make them better than me.
Well, that's a great goal.
Better than me, because I'm pretty sure that I'm attaching to what we were talking before. The way that we keep people working for us is made them working in an ambient that it's nice to work, and they are proud to work for that company, for your company. Yeah. So there's not just the business, there's not just the work. You have to build another time a community inside your group.
We hear this a lot with a lot of the people we've talked to on Pizza Quest. This sense of community is so important.
It's super important.
This new generation of
super
owners.
Important, because now they can, as we said before, it's hard to find people, but they can switch. At least in Canada, they can switch work in 2 seconds, go in front of your place and find another job, like super easy. So
you have to give them a reason.
You have to build something different and give them some different opportunities, some creativity too.
Well, this is very exciting to hear. I mean, you both have big visions for your companies, and a totally different approach too. Many small local spots. You're mainly in Quebec, but are you going beyond Quebec?
We open in France.
In France?
Wow,
that's a big jump over the pond.
1 month ago.
Yeah, wow.
And we're gonna open in Toronto in the next 4 or 5 months.
In Toronto, which is sort of everyone ends up in Toronto sooner or later,
Yeah.
And then for you guys, you've got already plans for expansion again as you get. You mentioned Long Beach. Long Beach is becoming a hot destination place for.
Francesco had the crazy idea to join the 2 restaurants together. So we end up making a restaurant that is like close to 10,000 square feet.
Yeah,
so
but you have 3
outside.
along sort of the corridor of the South LA up to Santa Barbara. You're going to have 3, so your presence is going to be very strong in that area.
Yeah.
How about do you see beyond the LA, New York area, or is that where the turf for you?
I mean, keep in mind that when we bought the rights from the Italians, we bought the right for the entire United States of America.
Uh-huh.
So the idea is to actually go everywhere, but with little, we try to be conscious.
One at a time.
The project is to build actually 50 restaurants.
50, yeah.
50, 50, and
well, there we go. They're going to catch up to you guys, Mirko.
No, I mean they're quick actually. Yeah, I mean they're pretty quick. But of course, Francesco has the idea to create like a space that you can go and literally enjoy like your house.
Yes.
I mean, I have to be honest, Peter. Every time that I'm working in a restaurant and I'm with some friends and walking by the dining room, there are so many friends. And they look at me, my friends are like, Michele, do you know them? Yes, I do. Why? Because, why do you know them? Because, I mean, in New York, it's like 3 million people. You know them?
How do you,
Because we're creating friends like in no time.
Yes.
We're creating that bondship that is like... It's like I know this guy forever. It's like that's your telephone number. Call me. That's my telephone number. Call me anytime you want.
So that's
and
interesting.
This is what they do.
That's a big part of the fulfillment for you is to be able to have these connections with people.
If you have that kind of passion, that's if you have that kind of approach to your life, work life, that's fantastic. You're not even working.
Well,
I work every 6. I mean, Francesco and I, we work literally 7 days a week.
But it doesn't seem like work because you're loving what you're doing.
20 hours a day.
Yeah.
I thought, I'm going to show you my email last night. 4:30 in the morning, I was sending out email menus, and 6 o'clock I was here. That's what we do.
There's something very beautiful to be said here. Is if you have dreams and you eventually don't come with a trust fund, but probably even if you do come with a trust fund, the industry, which probably many industry, but also this one in particular, it's a baby that never grows, right? If you have a restaurant, you got employees and emotions to take care, right? So people have a need. People have their needs, right? And some people are. Human capital is just really important to handle. And if you are now personal, now you have to handle those human resources, which brings you to a place where you need to hire well, you need to make sure that you handle and manage well. So there's a lot of passion around the restaurant. It's 100 employees in a restaurant. You're basically dealing with emotions every day, everywhere, right? So but there's no other option if you want to do it personal. So there's a little catch-22 in what we do, because and that's where eventually at some point people get out of it because they're too tired. So right now we're trying to find that beautiful balance, if we may ever get there, where we enjoy what we do. Eventually we make a little money for the families, since we have invested again for the second time all in the second restaurant. And be real with the challenges that post COVID, the doing business in the world, in United States in 2022, 2023, with taxes, with rules, with changes, with expensive prices and everything, that puts you into a place where you need to be almost perfect in order to make it, because we don't like to cut corners. We like to hire well. We need to give vacation. We like to take care of people. So you're trying to be best at everything. Problem is, let's not talk about problem. Let's talk about the advantage. You know what's the advantage is? That in 3 months we received a notification from the Telegraph that out of UK saying we're one of the best restaurants in New York. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, right? It's like, well, what's wrong? I mean, like, really? How did we get this?
Already,
you know?
yeah.
And I think that's the result of the effort. You want to do it right? Get there, be present. Michele, thank you, Mirko. Michele might tell you right away. He's like, we do a great week. We get the best reviews. I send him an email to the whole staff, and I say, look, on Resi, we just lost a couple of points for the service. To do it tomorrow in the pre-shift, can we please talk about this, right? I'm not even going to tell myself or that I'm a little obsessive. But you know, my mentality is a basketball coach at the last 30 seconds of the game with 10 points. They're still going to call for a break and make sure that they win that game. Yeah. There's no giving up in this business ever. There's no chance to relax. There's no chance to think, oh, wow, I'm good right now. No. You're good as your last meal.
That's right.
You gotta be always there every day and make sure that your client is taken care of. Otherwise, just sell your business and then you make your money, get out of it.
Right. But you guys have big dreams and a vision, and all of you that are here at the table, a vision that includes a sense of community and a sense of doing it the right way. And I, really want to thank you for that and honor you for that. We've been talking with Francesco Zimone, Michele Rubini, and Mirko Diagata. Am I saying it right? Diagata. Sorry about that. You heard it here in a sense that right now they're small groups. They have only 4 restaurants. You only have 32 restaurants. The next time you hear about these guys, they're going to have, the growth is going to be there because they have a big vision. And the big vision is a challenging one. So we're going to be in your corner pulling for you. But if you keep doing it the right way, we're going to, your goal is to get it up to, did you say at 1,300 restaurants?
No, I think we're pretty much close to their dream. So I think 50 is going to be
50?
Our
Well, that's a pretty good size
goal.
group, yeah.
But then we can work in something else. So we have as I said before,
concepts.
we have another concept of Roman style pizza, so we can play again and work it out again to reach something. Thank you so much, Peter, for inviting us, to having us here.
Yeah, and thank you for coming and sharing your vision with us, your dreams, and also how you plan, how you do it. Not just the vision for what you want it to be, but how you're going to get there. And that's what people, I think, who are listening to our program want to know. What are they doing that I need to know if I want to try to do something great as well? So congratulations to all of you. And I look forward to coming to all of your restaurants when I can get, probably I'm more likely to get to New York before I get to LA again, and then Canada, it's on my wish list. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And have a great rest of the show. And thank all of you for listening to Pizza Quest. Join us for the next episode, and I'll let you guys get back to your work here at the Expo, and we'll see you over the next couple of days.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for joining us for this week's episode of Pizza Quest. A number of the conversations you will hear this season were recorded over a 2-day period during the 2023 International Pizza Expo held in Las Vegas, Nevada. These recordings would not have been possible without the help of many people and our generous underwriters, but I'd like to take a moment now to especially thank some of the unsung heroes. My Pizza Quest partners, Jeff Michael and Brad English, our HRN recording producer, Liam Werner, as well as HRN's Matt Patterson and Joanna Garnett-Reipold, and also Alexander Mortati of Orlando Foods, who organized and coordinated the schedules of many of our guests to get them to our recording table throughout the expo. Thank you to all of you. Pizza Quest is powered by Simplecast. Thanks for listening to Heritage Radio Network, food radio supported by you. Keep in touch at heritageradionetwork.org/subscribe.